Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who just joined, my name is Janelle McGregor, Director of Community Engagement and Partnerships for the City of Tampa. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this afternoon to hear about an update project that's taking place in the Sunset Park neighborhood. So without any further ado, I'd like to turn the virtual mic over to my colleague, Sonia Quinones, to give us an overview of what you can expect, what kind of information you can expect to receive on this call. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sonia Quinones. I'm the Supervisor of Communications and Water Conservation for the Water Department. And in today's meeting, what we're hoping to provide is a good overview of the project that's happening in Sunset, well, resuming in Sunset Park West. There should have been activity in the neighborhood starting as of yesterday. Give you an overview of the work plan. The strategy behind where we're going to now in the first couple of months and what we're looking to achieve in the neighborhood in terms of what we're replacing, what we're adding in, and give you an opportunity to ask any questions, because I know there's been a lot of back and forth on this project, and it's certainly been not quite the way we like to run things, but you know, we're doing our best to try and just take care of everyone here. So that's basically what the gist of it today is, to bring you up to speed. We're also going to be having an in-person meeting. We're going to be a guest at the local homeowners association regular meeting. So I believe that's on the 13th, and it's an evening session. So we're also going to be there to address questions from anybody who comes in person. So that's basically it. And I think I'm going to wait for my colleagues to come on board. While they're connecting, Kevin from the Water Department, is there anything that you want to speak of?
Okay. How you doing, Sonia? Good afternoon, everyone. Don't really have anything at this point. I think the construction team, and I don't see anybody on here from construction, will be able to provide more information.
Good afternoon, everyone. How you doing, Sonia? My name is Nisharik Patel, and I am the project engineer representing the Water Department on this project.
Okay, so what I'm going to do thank you, I appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is, in the meantime, I apologize for all the technical difficulties. So in the meantime, what I'm going to end up doing is just pulling up the project fact sheet and the project map, so that at least you have something on the screen so you can see, if you haven't had a chance to take a look at these documents, so that you can kind of see where we are and what the plan is for the project.
Sonia, I know a lot of questions are going to be directed my way. Can you hear me okay?
I can totally hear you.
Okay, thank you. We finally got a technical issue over here.
Yes. Okay.
So good. I'm getting the contractor in here in my office, and hopefully we can at least proceed accordingly.
Okay. If you could introduce yourself, that would be great.
I thought I already did. I'm sorry. I'm Tim Nisley. I am the engineer in charge of construction for the continued construction on this project.
Is there something in the screen, one of the documents that we created, that you would want me to put up on the screen in particular?
I think Joe's name, my right-hand man, and my name, along with our contact information, is in your flyer that you were using.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. So this is a fact sheet that I believe was handed out about a week ago. And Tim, if you would take it from here, that'd be great.
Sure. I'm trying to get back over to the video. There we are. Okay. If you could scroll up a little bit, please. We obviously immobilized out there this past Tuesday. And if you could scroll down just a little bit more, some of the language right here. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor or not, but there's the roadways we're starting at. We're starting what I would call the north end of the project here with Juno, Dryad, and the other name escapes me, West Sunset and Bryant. And we're basically going back to what the contractor had previously worked on before and making sure everything is up to city standards. This might be a little bit confusing as many of you are already on, if you're in this area, already on the main. But we had some other issues that we're trying to make sure that the roadway is compacted to certain standards before we thus mill your roadway from curb to curb and give you that promised, long-awaited promised new roadway down where we have trenched down through there. So the contractor starting in those areas. If you see down here, I don't know if you can see my cursor or not, but that's my name, Tim Nisley. Oh, you moved on me there. And that is my cell number. If I am unable to answer, please leave a message for me. And my right-hand man, Joe Rigo, as said right here, Mr. Joe Rigo, that is his contact number as well. Joe and I plan to be on site every day for at least an hour a day, if not longer and or as needed, to assist with any questions, immediate questions with the contractor, any concerns that a homeowner may have. If we get out there and somebody's talked with the contractor or our inspector, we'll hopefully be able to assist you in a much more efficient manner. But again, just rest assured, we are trying to work through these issues and take care of them in a timely manner. Appears the guys in the conference room are getting all set up there.
We're good, guys. Good morning or afternoon. Apologies for the late start. Has some technical difficulties on our end.
Joe, no need to rehash anything at this point. I kind of already introduced yourself and me, and kind of let everybody know who's attending, where we're starting, and just a brief synopsis of what we're doing. So I was going to turn it back to anybody that might have some particular questions and maybe answer those.
You can enter your questions in the chat if that's easier. Let us know that if you have any questions, but do we want to go into detail about what the project plans are? I believe, in terms of how, the kind of work that we're planning on doing.
If you had a schedule, some people may or may not know to unmute their microphones. Looks like everybody right now is muted. If your microphone is functional, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, my name's Ed Kopic. I live at Sunset and Dundee there. So I was just interested in what the time frame is for, for the whole project, but selfishly, my street, that we've had a lot of work done over the last 3 years between the sewer, the water, and just curious when we're going to be connected and when the road's going to be paved.
Sure. We were just kind of indicating there, Ed, Sonia, if you would be so kind as to bring up the schedule. That's kind of our general schedule.
Let me make sure that I have it. Yeah.
Yeah. I've already alluded to this, Ed. The area that you just saw on the map, that's what we're calling, for all intents and purposes, our paving phase 1 area. Those are the areas that will be completed in the coming months here, and then eventually paved from curb to curb. I believe that includes your area of North Dundee and West Sunset.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, are you on a road? Are you on West Sunset? We've already trenched in front, or are you on North Dundee, or where are you in relation to some of the work?
I'm on West Sunset.
Okay.
Right there at the corner with Dundee. So
Okay.
yeah, they've been right there and did the street and all that. So.
Okay. Well, hopefully Sonia will be able to pull up the schedule and we can kind of go through that real quick and answer any more questions you may have on that. But just to let you know, if I'm speaking off the cuff here without having the schedule, I believe we're mobilizing to pave your area sometime in October, maybe as late as November, obviously before Thanksgiving. It may move quicker than that. The contractors built some some time into their schedule to allow for the worst case scenario of finding many things, that we would have to take care of. We are in the past couple of days, we've discovered some things that we were unaware of, but we've also discovered many more things that we're very happy to see that we don't necessarily have to correct. So it is going to be a little give and take on time. But Sonia, have you been able to get to that schedule or?
Just found it.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, let me just make it bigger.
There we go. Okay. If you can zoom in a little bit. Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're looking for Dundee in particular.
No. If you scroll up, I can kind of,
Okay.
I know where we
All
are.
right.
Okay. So
Okay.
you see month 1, September. Can you see that okay, sir?
I can make it bigger if you need me to.
I think you're fine. I think you're
Okay.
fine. Month 1, September kind of runs through on the right-hand side here of what we're looking at. It looks like in month 2 in bold under October, all the way to the right, Mill and Overlay, San Miguel, Juneau, Sunset, Bryant, and Dryad, which I believe includes your area. So we're looking sometime in October of actually getting you buttoned up, sir.
Okay, so I guess they will connect to the service lines before they do the paving.
Yes, they will. We are still going through and making sure all the service lines are up to our standards and or follow the plan. We have found a number of lines that most lines do. Some lines, for whatever reason, do not. But we're going through with a very fine-tooth comb to make sure that we don't leave this untouched and or confirm that we have the right apparatus out there before we pave. So that's why they're going through right now in areas that have actually been in service somewhat to date, and why we're taking the time to do this.
Okay. Oh, and I had one more question. When they put in the service line, they crushed the sidewalk. They broke the sidewalk. And I remember talking to an inspector back then and said they would fix that when they got to, the end of the project. I just wanted to confirm that JVS is going to be fixing those, or is responsible for what the other contractor broke, or how does that work?
Yes, that is on our punch list. Anything that was broken before due to negligence will be corrected by JVS.
Okay.
Probably, this is Joe, by the way. Probably right around the same time prior to paving. The plan is by hopefully the end of October, maybe a little bit into November, to complete what we call the northern part, which is that San Miguel, Juneau, South Bryant, anything North Dundee, north. Our southern part was more of the South Dundee stuff. So hopefully by beginning to middle, late, worst case scenario, hopefully November, we'll get all that done. Concrete, paving, all that stuff. Leave that 100%, and then we'll move on to the other section of the project.
All right,
effectively the way the city of Tampa works is even if something is missed or kind of is out of a certain scheduled scenario, we still have to do a final walkthrough on the project. So just because we've moved on doesn't mean that we can't necessarily come back while we're already engaged in the project and correct some issues. So it's not a problem if something usually gets found out a week or 2 or a month or whatever it is later, as long as we're still out there.
Everyone, it's Janelle. We have a question in the chat from Alina Font, who's wondering if this project will have any impacts on the east side of West Shore.
I don't believe that does. That's a separate project that's going on out there.
No, the answer is no, will not.
Okay, sorry, this is Alina. I think I just realized this is the water lines that we already had installed on this side. I don't even remember when. There's been so much construction throughout all this time, but I think we already had the water lines. I thought this meeting was about the stormwater project, but it looks like we're talking about the work we already had done. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
If you're speaking on the east side, that is a totally different project from this one. This is the west side of Sunset Park West. There was a Sunset Park East that was already previously completed. This is the west
correct.
side. Yeah.
I believe, Joe, she may be alluding to the storm project that's also ongoing on West Shore. That's my
right, and it has some major impacts on the east side. I didn't know if that had been resolved yet, but I will. I'm on the wrong meeting, but good luck to all of you on the west side. they do a nice job fixing up the asphalt when all is done. So, and they fixed our curb as well. So I was grateful. Thank you guys. Have a great meeting.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks, Alina. We do have another question in the chat from Rick Pitterly. And this question may have already been answered already, but Rick is asking, are there any plans to pave back over the streets that were torn up after force mains are complete?
After the water main that we've installed and or still plan to install, yes, the plan is to pave from curb to curb. We will not, this project currently does not correct any stormwater issues or standing water. It is purely at this point in time, a water project. So yes.
Rick, on your question, you said a force main. Were you referring to our water force main? Because force main is actually a sanitary service. So I don't know if you were referring to that or not. Because we do not have I believe we do not have a sewer, project out there.
Yeah, I think he's just talking about the water.
Right, water main, okay,
Yeah, I'm assuming he means water, Joe.
cool, yep, yeah, we're gonna pave everything.
All right. I can't see the chat. So anybody else?
We don't have any other questions in the chat, but
Okay.
if any of the residents who took the time to join us today, again, we appreciate you, and please feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions of the team. Thanks.
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
Yes, please. Hey, Mary, how are you doing?
Hi, thank you. I'm a resident on San Miguel, and the primary thing I'm trying to figure out is the road blockages in trying to work our way around to be able to get out, as primarily San Jose's are in and out of everything. So it looks like that there's going to be only partial blockages along the way, but that's my biggest concern.
Mary, thanks for your question. Yes, that is the intent. Wherever the contractor will be working in the trench line, there will at least be access through the roadway, at least one way with flaggers if necessary. And you should have access at all times to your driveway. Should that become an hour by hour sort of thing, they'll probably knock on your door or try to make contact. And the intent is also to fill the trench each night and or provide plates as to not allow vehicles to drive in a dangerous area if for some reason they are not able to bring the trench up to grade and remove the cones on a daily basis.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mary. Anyone else?
Okay, so is there anything else that you would want me to bring up on the screen that you think might be helpful?
Maybe just kind of show the key sheet again.
Okay, let me go look for that.
And that way I can try to go maybe a little more into what I'm calling the paving phasing.
Okay. All right.
And my apologies. I see that you have your hand raised, but I don't know if you had an opportunity to ask a question yet.
Let's see, is it sharing? Is it sharing the screen?
Currently, no.
Okay, let me try this again. All right, that's odd. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go.
There we go. Okay. So Sonia, if you would be so kind to help me out. I don't know if anybody can see my arrow or not.
No, but where are you trying to go?
If you would circle what I'm calling the northern area where we're starting.
Okay,
Yes, that area right there is what we're calling the phase 1 area. The contractor is mobilized right now to go through with a fine tooth comb as indicated. And what I'm just going to call an overall term of buttoning up this area before we pave from curb to curb. The highlighted areas are going to be where we're paving for the most part. There may be a little bit in between in which we make some paving connections, but that will be decided on a basis with the water department. But for all intents and purposes, that is where we're going to be paving. The second area, Sonia, is a lot of the yellow and just a little bit of the first pink right in here, up and down.
So
Yes,
these?
that would
Okay.
what we're going to be calling, maybe a little incorporate a little bit more, but that area right in there, give or take, is going to be the second phase. That area we already know we have a number of issues, so it might take a little longer to go through those areas than it does the areas that are kind of blue purple. And the pink area is something that is not installed to date. So when they start working on the pink areas there, that will be all brand new to date. It should not have the challenges we're going through right now. So it should be a little bit quicker pace, should be a little bit more forward of an operation. So the remaining pink part down there would be the third paving operation, so to speak. And this might be give or take a street here or there, but that's roughly the plan. The contractor right now is shooting for a 10-month operation. Fingers crossed, it could take less than that. But we're just trying to brace residents for the length of time for finding the worst case scenario and or allowing for weather that we think that might contribute to the length of the project here. But it's an aggressive schedule. They are going to be working 6 days a week. They will be out there on Saturdays, trying to move through this as quickly as possible and keeping things at a minimum as far as I know it's been a problem out there for you all, but keeping things down to a minimum and the least amount of interference.
Tim, your voice just kind of keeps going in and out. Just want to let you know. I
Interesting.
have a question, just to make sure that if I'm remembering this correctly, as you complete a section, you will be paving it before you move on to the next phase. Is that correct?
That is the intent. Yes. So these phasing areas that I'm speaking about, that is the intent. It'll be 3 different mobilizations for 3 different paving areas.
There may be a little bit of a crossover where you may have some crews already working, we'll call it phase 2, which is the yellow to the south, while we're, paving at the same time. So, we're actively paving the north side, and then we're still working on the south side, and we'll come back because, there's still a lot to pave there, milling and all that. So we may have tool operations at one time. We will not just abandon and not pave. We're going to make paving maybe going, okay, we got a couple streets, we're still working paving. It may take a week or 2 to pave everything on the north side while still simultaneously working on the southern part, phase 2, if you will.
But it won't be months. JVS's approach is to try to localize the impact. That's why the phasing of the paving as described.
Yes.
Oh, I thought of a question. Where are you staging at? Is it going to be on Kipling again or somewhere else? I mean, on Lake Kipling?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you said Kipling.
Yeah, so far we are utilizing the same laid-on yard at Lake Kipling.
Okay.
As we move south, we are looking at different areas we may need to see what we can do in the south so we can try to expedite. What we try not to do, what we do not want to do is bring our heavy equipment down West Shore just to go around, just to get down to the south side or phase 2 and 3 of the project. We want to minimize any, construction traffic on West Shore to do our, to finish this project out. So we're looking into different places where we may be able to stage in the south side. But for the north side and all that, yes, it will be at Lake Kipling.
All right. Any other questions?
Okay, is there anything else that you want me to bring on screen? I think we're probably at, I think that was probably it.
Yes, unless people have more specific questions about their localized area, we could reference the schedule, but this is kind of, you know, the action plan here. The schedule will be more of when that's going to occur. Obviously, anybody at any time can at least email us, if not call myself or Joe for updates on when we're going to be moving in that area. It might be a little sooner or later than anticipated, but we'll be more than happy to keep everybody updated if they keep in contact with us.
And Sonia, you'll be continuing to update the city's website that's specific
Yes.
to this project?
Yes, that's when you give me more new information, I'll make sure it goes on the city's webpage.
That would be
Well, on
great.
I'm sorry, the project webpage.
That would be great. Maybe we can get you to sit in with us on our meetings, at least if not on a bi-weekly basis, if not a monthly basis, to get
Yeah.
you those updates.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, JVS team, Water Department team, and big thanks to all of our residents who took the time to join us today on such a short notice. But we look forward to connecting with you all again at your upcoming neighborhood association meeting that Sonia shared earlier. So thank you again. Be safe and stay in contact. You have our information. If you need something, please feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
Great. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks for holding it.